Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahawashi, Bahasham, Barakahak Wadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who ruled and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word and truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure unto the end. This is the brother Ra'aya coming at you with another lesson, and I'll be profiling, most of this video from a Homestead Journeys YouTube channel titled Americans Are Skipping Meals Because Rising Prices and Cost of Living. And hey, biblical prophecy continues to come to its fulfillment, this time dealing with what? High prices, and eventually, these famines which will come. And that is going to lead to people out here fighting each other like bitter enemies, deleting each other. But this is a fair use copyright disclaimer. I do not own any of the footage in this clip, nor do I stand to gain from it monetarily. It is simply for educational purposes.
I hate to say this, but I really do believe that it's not too long from now before people start to really freak out about the cost of food.
A few days ago, I did a post about what I'm doing to try to reduce the costs in my home. And I asked people what they were doing, partly because I thought it would help us share ideas with one another. But the amount of comments on that post where people are saying, I feed my children and I don't eat, or I eat every third day, or I'm eating one meal a day, or the bare minimum food is a pretty common trend in that post. While we've been watching this situation going on in Gaza, it's happening closer to home too. There are many people here who are literally that food insecure.
This is Matthew chapter 24. I'm going to read verses 7 to 8. And this is Yahawashi, the Son of the Most High, whom the world ignorantly refers to as so-called Jesus, telling his disciples in the past of the end-time signs to look for, to know that his second coming was nigh, and that the end of the heathens' ruling was at hand. But, as it says in Romans chapter 15, everything written aforetime was written for our learning. He was really speaking to his disciples today who are currently living in these times. We are on the cusp of Jacob's trouble, but also the salvation and the kingdom of heaven. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, food shortages, food insecurity, people having to skip meals just to feed their children, and it's not even bad yet, such as over in Gaza and other parts of the world, and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, which all these other things are either in the process of taking place or taking place as we speak. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. We're just in the beginning stages right now. It's only going to get worse going forward. And really, today is the best day you're going to have in regards to your current financial, food, and mental health situation.
And I know the whole platform was, there's so much abuse and SNAP and this and that. There are actually people not eating for days here. And I don't think that's getting enough attention. Most of us can't see outside of our own situation. We don't understand what it's like to be in that situation. It's a bother to us to be proposed with people that are homeless. It's a bother to us to hear people complain that I'm hungry. But that post was pretty eye-opening to me. I know there's days when I don't eat a lot, but it's because I want to make things last. It's not because I don't have enough to get to the end of the month. The amount of people on that post that didn't have enough to get to the end of the month, or the ability to grow a garden, or the ability to have access to food, is pretty staggering. There's a lot of people saying, I feed my children and I don't feed myself. I've gotten to the point where I have to eat one meal a day only, or I have to go every other day. This is supposed to be a free, wonderful country, and there's people starving here. I don't care what their circumstance is. In a country this size, with as much money as this country has, people shouldn't be starving.
Salakia, damn ad. But hey, the elites are getting ready to foreclose on the United States of America and use U.S. citizens in it. You know, whether you be an Edomite or a so-called white person, an Israelite or a so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American especially. And hey, they set up the perfect man for the demolition job, DJ Donald Trump, which with each passing day, he's looking more and more like that cruel Lord set over Egypt, spiritual Egypt, as pursuant to Revelation 11, verse 8. America, hey, that's going to bring in all this tyranny and draconian measures. But this is Isaiah chapter 32. I'm going to start at verse 5. The vile person, speaking of Esau, shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. And what did that Edomite lady just say? You know, this is America. This country's so big, people shouldn't be starving. Because what? You know, this is, still, one of the richest countries on the face of the earth. You know, for those that are in power, for the average citizen, it's not looking so well. But, you had all these government benefits, SNAP, welfare, Section 8, Medicare, all that stuff. But hey, with the way Trump's moving, he's putting more restrictions in place to limit the access of that to people. So what? The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. People not getting these government benefits like that. And with inflation and the cost of living crisis, that dollar not being able to stretch very far, and food insecurity increasing. Verse 6, the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity. Hey, we got to get rid of these welfare queens. SNAP and all these other benefits are being abused by, freeloaders, which that is the case in a lot of cases. But, you do have, a lot of people that actually do, try to do right and rely on that. But everybody's being cast into that dragnet of a bunch of lazy, good-for-nothing freeloader bums. I did a video a couple of weeks ago on how due to ICE, doing those raids on U.S. farms, you've got workers not showing up because they're, immigrants, so-called Latinos of the Northern Kingdom. So crops are rotting in the field and farmers are complaining. And then one of the people in Trump's administration said, hey, we don't need to worry about immigrants. We can just get these lazy Americans that were relying on these benefits to get into work programs. Just a complete disregard for the average American citizen. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy, which, a lot of you MAGA heads are seeing the hypocrisy of your golden savior, Donald Trump. He said he was going to make America great again in the war in Ukraine in 24 hours, and that prices would go down. But the exact opposite is happening. And to utter error against Yahweh, which Esau, his whole society is based against, slandering and trying to discredit the Most High, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. And, this is speaking, spiritually and, towards our people, Esau doing everything he can to keep us from our identity and our power and to keep us in this American rat race. But, a lot of you average American citizens, you're spiritually empty, hungry, and thirsty as well. Hence why you're complaining and looking for answers to, get out of this situation. But the only answers that are coming your way is death, destruction, and horror and judgment. And then on top of that, hey, you're going to be physically hungry and physically thirsty as well, coming soon enough, which, as we're seeing in this clip, it's already starting to happen. Verse 7, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. And all these instruments by the churl and these wicked devices he's devising, with the prices increasing, the dollar losing value, and ultimately an economic collapse, is to bring about what? The new system, the digital cashless society, where in order to be a part of it, you're going to have to take the mark of the beast in Revelation 13, verses 16 to 18, which is that micro C-hip implant, which we see that's right around the corner. And as I said, he deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor, you Israelites, who are always the main target, with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. And you have the prophets out here preaching this word on the highways and byways, as well as putting up video epistles like this, exposing the truth of things out here. But soon come enough, what? There's going to be a whole demonization campaign against the prophets to get these video epistles offline and to get the men of the Lord off the highways and byways.
Here we are again.
And another thing, notice how the majority of people complaining in this video are women. You women are about to experience a whole different level of suffering you never thought possible. You thought women had it bad in the past, being a housewife and being provided for by a man, that was oppression. And now you're going to see what true oppression and, misogyny, so to speak, is. And, Isaiah 4:1, you can hear the drums of that precept beating louder and louder with each passing day.
Guys, all this stuff, fresh veggies, fruit, pizza, eggs, drinks, chicken, snacks, canned goods, pull-ups even, fruit, salads, milk, eggs, juice, freaking pie. So much good stuff. Central Kitsap Food Bank. Come visit them. They're so nice. Don't be ashamed to come feed your family.
There are people that are.
And there's going to come a time when these food banks are no longer going to be reliable. Trump's already been putting legislation in place, which is heavily affecting, these food banks' ability to get food like that. This is 2 Esdras chapter 6. I'm going to read verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. From these food banks to these grocery stores, convenience stores, anywhere you get food or goods, it's going to come a time where those shelves are going to be empty, whether due to supply chain disruptions or them being picked clean. And we saw an example of that back during 2019 to 2021 with the C19, but those store shelves eventually filled up again. Hey, there's going to come a time when they won't, and then people are going to start taking matters into their own hands.
Are starting to notice that they're getting less food for the amount that they're willing to pay at the grocery store. Then you have people that already know that they can't afford what they used to be able to afford, and they're cutting back a lot. Then you have people that can't afford much at all and are going to food banks. This is a huge problem, and everyone is starting to feel the squeeze if they're not already. And we're at that point where it's like the frog in the pot that's boiling. that everybody's really realizing, hey, we're in trouble here.
It can't be just me who thinks they need to go get a second, third, or fourth job to just be able to afford groceries. I have to buy groceries every 2 weeks. No matter how much I try to cut back, it's still $500-$600, and I'm drowning. It is so stressful. My kids have to eat.
Back in Isaiah 32, I'm going to jump down to verse 9. And hey, this is speaking to you Israelite women, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American women, because you're the only ones that have any chance of being saved from Jacob's trouble. If you come back humbly to your power, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and, get under a man of the Lord. As for you heathen women, you don't have a snowball's chance in hell of making it through the times to come. But hey, the things that are going to affect the Israelite woman in this verse, it's going to happen to all you American women as well. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. You're able to have your nice cushy job, which you've got hundreds of thousands of black women, so-called black women, losing their jobs over the last couple of months. Have your government benefits, go to the grocery store, get what you want, use your credit cards for all these different bills and trips and everything you want to do. Have multiple men to, help finance your lifestyle as well. Call 911 if one of them got out of hand. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled. And hey, we're just in the beginning of sorrows right now, and the troubling is already happening. Ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail. These jobs, government benefits, this society, this metropolis that Esau has set up for you women, all these men you've been leeching off of, the gathering shall not come. Tremble ye women that are at ease, trouble ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. For you Israelite women, seeing all these things come down the pipeline, because more and more of you are starting to watch these videos of the prophets, you should be coming in that spirit of humility. But hey, as we know, 2/3 of our people are going to get cut off in America, and women outnumber men. So it's going to be the majority that are going to get cut off. It's going to be women and these children. Verse 12, they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, the good times. Verse 13, upon the land of my people shall come up thors and briers, the bad times. Yeah, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city.
My bills have to be paid, and I just wish something would give.
Have you been to the grocery store? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I go just about...
Man, I just wish something would give.
Have you been to the grocery store? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I go just about every day. And I'm in shock because everything seems to have gotten more expensive, except for the price of eggs have come down. But everything else is crazy. I mean, since when did chips become $8? $8 for... I looked at the Doritos. I went, $8 for Doritos? Who's doing that, by the way? Yeah, I have no interest in buying chips right now. Chips are basically the same price per pound as steak. When did that happen? But it just seems to be endless. And now you go and you take a $100 bill and it buys nothing. A $100 bill? Oh my God, I can remember when I could come home with the whole thing of groceries for $100. Right now, for $100, you're not getting much of anything. Is it like that where you are? Because the prices just seem to be going crazy. $8 for Doritos? Come on.
The St. Tammany Collectors Convention is coming your way. Whether you're a fan of rare comic books, vintage toys, or unique collectibles.
This is Revelation chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 5. And this is dealing with the, so-called four horsemen of the apocalypse, which are just symbolic for different things that would be taking place during the last days. And you can see Blue Letter Bible has put the header up there, the third seal, famine. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see, thou hurt not the oil and the wine." And when we jump down to that word penny, in the Strongs, it's G1220 denarion, which in the outline of biblical usage says a Roman silver coin in New Testament times. It was the principal silver coin of the Roman Empire. So the US dollar of the Roman Empire, which America is Rome reborn. From the parable of the laborers in the vineyard, it would seem that denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wages. Most Americans are on a wage, but back in the ancient world, and especially according to our law, a man was paid, for the very same day he worked. It's not like today where, people are paid every 2 weeks or whatever. So looking at this, from a modern view, a measure of wheat for a penny, 3 measures of barley for a penny, damn near your entire paycheck to buy a decreasing amount of goods. They've got something called shrinkflation out here, where the prices go up, but the product inside the package, is lesser and lesser. And as we just saw that Edomite say, you used to make $100 stretch and I could get a basket of groceries. But now a bag of potato chips, it costs as much as a damn steak. But pay attention to this next lady talking. You're truly going to see a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny.
Have you guys been to the grocery store lately? Look at that, $7.49 a pound. Do you know that is more than the minimum wage for hamburger meat? Get the cheap one, $6.29 a pound, $6.99. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this for steak, $9.49, and this is flank. $5 for a bag of cookies. Look at that. $6.99 for chips. Look at that. You know what I'm noticing as well? Is everyone is looking at the prices. They're moving the tag and looking at the prices. There's people here just picking up like their one meal after work. What happened to lower groceries on day one? What happened to America first? Because so far, by my count, not only has he not done anything for America, lowering prices, he has raised taxes, raised the national debt, caused so much grief, and now you have tariffs.
And it'd be one thing if it was just
The vile person will no longer be called liberal, nor the churl bountiful.
the food prices that were increasing, because people can mitigate that. Hey, let me, cut back a little bit here or there because food's going up and we still want to enjoy the things that we're used to enjoying. But when your rent is going up, when your insurances are going up, when your bills are going up, we've just talked about the electricity bills lately, and I got my bill for next month now, and it's even more than the last month. Go figure. And I've been cutting back on the lights and everything, but bills are just continuing to go up. So when you're getting squeezed from all ends, and then your food is more expensive as well, something has to give. And people mentally are freaking out already, and it's going to be an issue. I can see it. It's the writing's on the wall, you guys. It's not too long before people really start to freak out here.
Everything is so expensive right now, and I don't understand how people aren't talking about it. We don't make enough money. Collectively, we do not make enough money. The price of things are not keeping up with how much we're getting paid. And it's infuriating to me for people to say that people just need to work harder, people need to get different specialized degrees, people need to start their own businesses. That's not the answer. The answer is that billionaires are hoarding wealth. And this system is set up to fail. And I'm just infuriated by it. I can't get ahead. Every month I try to get ahead and I can't get ahead. And I don't know.
And hey, coming soon, a lot of you women are going to have to start giving head to get ahead.
How to cope with that. I don't know how to cope with that. Everything is so expensive, especially in the last like 6 months. I can barely get by. So I don't know how I'm supposed to retain hope. Am I supposed to get a doctorate so that I can afford a studio apartment? Like, is that where we're getting to at this point? Like, I don't know what the answer is to this, but it's so bad.
Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless daughters.
And I just wanted to get on here and tell you, if you are experiencing the same thing, you're so not alone. Everything is so expensive and it's infuriating to me.
Food insecurity is going to be a growing problem. The supply chain is already very fragile, and if you're just completely dependent on it, that's an issue. In your grocery store, there's no more than about 3 days worth of food on the shelves. What happens when everybody starts to freak out and buy up all that food if something happens with the supply chain? And even if the supply chain is fine, then the prices of all the foods and goods are going up so much because of the economy, because of the tariffs. I mean, there's a lot of different factors here at play. So, and they've been going up for time. It has not just been because of, the past few months that prices have been going up. Yes, they've gone up a lot more, but they've been going up for a while now, for quite a while.
Well, people are complaining that the prices in grocery store have gone up, and our president is saying that prices went down. I'm a nerd, okay? Call me a nerd. I have receipts from June 2024 right through today. So we're gonna go grocery shopping and we're gonna do some price comparison, and I'm gonna show you how more expensive your groceries really are. I live in Howell, New Jersey, which is a suburban neighborhood. Not anything fancy. I'm in ShopRite. I'm not at Trader Joe's. I'm not at Whole Foods. I'm at ShopRite. We buy the same thing every single week, okay? Let's go shopping. Coffee is one of the biggest I've seen increases. Okay, now here on my receipt, we buy 8 o'clock coffee. I circled it because I used it one other time. Sorry for the blurriness. $9.99. You see that? $9.99. See it now? $17.99. In less than a year. $17.99. $9.99. So it is doubled in price. Coffee is insane, and this is not even a fancy brand like Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts.
Homeowners in America hit the jackpot when the big beautiful bill passed, and they don't even know it. On December...
Fuck that ad, but hey, most of you Americans, that's one less stress you got to worry about is being a homeowner. Or not being a homeowner.
Keep going. All right, I just met a lady here at the meat department who said, horrible. She can't believe the prices. Chopped meat, $17.90, $17.46 for 3 pounds of chopped meat. Are you out of your freaking mind? This little package of chopped meat, which is 93% lean, is $7 for that little piece. That could make 2 hamburgers. You're kidding me, right? Let's just take for shits and giggles, let's go over to a roast beef. $11 for $22. I'm speechless. Here's a beef around $19. Wowza. First of all, this ShopRite is a very, very, very busy ShopRite. Our shelves are not full. Because we are not buying American beef anymore. Do not buy American beef. This is absolutely awful. A London broil, they're on sale this week. Top London broils are on sale for $5.19. You used to get a London broil on sale that for like $2 on sale. Look at this, $23. Oh my God. A London broil, where's the ones that are on sale? They don't even have any on sale. They have these flat things. You want to do some beef kebabs with vegetables or some stir fry? Are you ready? $20.13 for that. You gotta be, who could live? Okay, we're not big cereal eaters, but a box of cereal, $6.29. Life cereal, $6.29. Raisin Bran, $6.49. I remember getting these for like $3 when I ate cereal. Holy moly's. Okay, here you could see Schneider's thin pretzels, $3.99. My husband loves to have some pretzels, so we get some pretzels. They don't have out any of their thin pretzels, but you can see all of them. Schneider's pretzels are $4.79 now. $4.79. Almost $1 increase from 1 year from now. Okay, so Mr. Orange Man, when you tell me prices are down, you're out of your mind.
So you really have to think about the future here, because what we're able to get with the dollar is less and less as time goes on with the way things are going up. I'll tell you, for us, we are going to start doubling down on our long-term food.
That's pretty much it with that video. But hey, biblical prophecy continues to speak louder and louder. And what this is eventually going to lead to is food shortages, famines, and people fighting against each other to the death for whatever they can get their hands on. So, hey, you got Trump with a lot of those National Guard up in D.C. to fight, so-called crime, which just recently, now they're going to start carrying rifles. And there was a clip of Trump saying, it's just the National Guard now, but if we got to go to the regular military, we'll do that. And of course, talks of spreading that same plan to different states across the country. Well, hey, things are looking like those troops are going to be posted for much more than crime. When prices continue, people can't afford things, so people start taking to the streets and rioting, and there's civil unrest. But let's get back to these precepts. This is 2 Esdras chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And we are living in the latter times right now. And hey, food insecurity, famines are definitely a very great misery that's going to be used as judgment on you people, especially in America, that have been walking in great pride. And there's that quote from Henry Kissinger: if you want to control nations, control the oil. If you want to control the people, control the food. Like I said earlier, a lot of these things are being orchestrated by the elites to squeeze you people in desperation, so that when they come with the solution, that MOTB, that C-hip implant, you're going to be more than happy to take it and eat the bugs, live in the 15-minute cities, and be happy. But let's go back to 2 Esdras chapter 6. I'll reread the end of verse 22. The fool's storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And that trumpet's getting blown right now by the men of the Lord. But hey, when the action that comes after the trumpet, the warning hits, hey, that's when that desperation is going to kick in for real. Verse 24, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. And what would be a major thing to cause that? Food shortages, people having to worry about their own well-being, and especially the well-being of their children and family. Remember what that first lady said? She posted that post about, food insecurity and what people are doing. And a lot of people said, look, I got to go without eating just to feed my children. What happens when they don't even have food to just feed their children? And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. This is 2 Esdras 15, verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. A friend shall fight one against another like enemies, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, famines, and for great tribulation, all the other great miseries that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua is bringing to judge you people for the great pride you've been walking in. But to you sincere Akim and Akwat out there, we are quickly barreling into Jacob's trouble, but just keep doing what you're doing right now. Hey, these are the times we've been preparing ourselves for, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua said that he would defend those of his elect in that day. And I'm going to close it out in Isaiah chapter 65, verses 13 to 14. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servants who are taking this grace period right now seriously and not as a joke, doing whatever they can to come back to their power and their heritage. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Those of the elect rejoicing because Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is going to make good on his word and defending them during the times of Jacob's trouble. And those that'll be ashamed are 2/3 of our people in America who spent this grace period, as looking at it as a joke and scoffing at the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai through his prophets. Like these other destitute Americans out here, you're going to starve and, dehydrate to death. Verse 14, behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit, because those many great miseries are going to cover you like a garment during Jacob's trouble. But that's it with this video. With this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babol, Kwam Yasharallah, and until next time, Shalom.